Yo guys, what is going on? It's GalJ007 here with another episode of D&D style RPG. Last time we left off on a really sad note. Her people had just been basically annihilated by what seemed to be like two or three people, and they were raised as zombies, and we had to attack him again, and it was just a complete mess. But we're back at it again with another episode. Let's hope that we can make some smart decisions this time. Hopefully we don't get hurt. And let's go. So last time again, we kind of made a remark where we kind of said that we kind of reminded her that, her people had died. So she's kind of like feeling very sad, and it's giving us an option to either apologize for the stupid remark, run your fingers through her hair, put a hand on her shoulder, or do nothing. So this is tricky. I don't feel comfortable enough to like run my fingers through her hair. Just yet. I don't feel like we're at that level yet. We've been through a lot, but I don't think we're ready for that move. I would always, like in real life, I always put my hands on people's shoulders when they're sad, or I apologize. I just really don't want to come across like I'm trying to do anything or try to take advantage. So we're going to put our hands on her shoulder, kind of like, sympathizing with her, and see what happens. All right. Nice. Good choice. All right. You put your hand on her shoulder and feel the cold, steel links of her chainmail. She looks at you. Her eyes glisten slightly, and she gives you a sad smile. She places her own hand on yours for a long moment and then removes it. She then returns her attention to the book. She reads silently for a minute or so, and at some point, you remove your hand from her shoulder. When Narissa speaks, her voice is steady. According to the text, corpses are awakened by being possessed by a soul from another world. These zombies must feed on other souls in order to maintain their tenuous hold on the corpse, and so are driven mad with hunger. More than flesh, those things want my soul? You ask. Yes. She pauses before resuming her reading. As your soul leaves your body, the undead drink from your life energy for a time, diminishing your soul's power before passing on to the next world. They are mad with hunger and do not understand the true nature of that which sustains them. They know only they must kill and must eat. They certainly were vicious and fast, much faster than the stories I have heard, you say. Yes, alas, the evil priestess had just raised those zombies, and a newly raised zombie is the most energetic and dangerous. This is because the soul has been recently summoned and is fresh in the body. Over time, without constant feeding, their soul energy slowly and painfully slips back to their home universe until, eventually, they vacate the corpse entirely. Narissa looks up from the book at you. The text recommends you never allow your enemy to raise the dead. I need not a book to tell me this, you say, and you both have a laugh. That's funny because that was what I was thinking. I was like, you don't need a book to tell you that. Presently, Narissa says, alas, I presume there is less obvious wisdom in these pages. Read as I pray for guidance of the shrine of this good house. She leaves you the book. As a wizard, it is comforting to study, and you quickly lose yourself in the pages of undead arcana. One interesting point that jumps out at you is that the typical necromancer who raised the dead is not safe from their monsters. A zombie, or the like, will seek to kill even those who animate them. To counter this, necromancers carry warded objects, usually unholy symbols of Nerull, to repel their own undead minions. It seems like no time has passed when Narissa returns. I must join the city defenders. Alathia has granted me more of her healing breath and has prompted me to care for the many wounded. You shall stay here and muster your strength for battles ahead. Nice. So we got healed again. Okay, perfect. Narissa leaves you in the bedroom. As a wizard, it is important for you to rest in order to regain your spell-casting powers, not to mention to recoup your strength from all the beatings you've taken on this adventure. Occasionally, you hear Salin, the head servant, walking about, moving something or the like. At some point, she brings you a bowl of soup and bread which you greedily devour. Now that you are in no immediate danger, you realize how long it has been since you have eaten. Really, it was at the inn where you had your victory feast with Reginald and Siba. Now that seems like a very long time ago indeed. You awaken from a nightmare. The sun has since gone down and you are alone. Lying in the bed of the guest bedroom, the book of the undead open next to you. Despite being awake, you cannot shake a feeling of dread. The house is silent, except for a foreign scratching noise. Oh, another scratching noise. I've seen this in movies. No doubt it is only Salen, the servant. Although, if it's the goblins, I best find out and make an escape. You think as you get out of bed to investigate. You follow the noise down the hallway, except now the scratching noises have been replaced with a sound that reminds you of someone slurping soup. Light cast by a dimly lit hearth illuminates the chamber ahead. Inside, you behold a terrifying sight. There lays Solène on the wooden floor, moaning softly. On top of her is a man. No, it's a monster. The beast's mouth is latched onto her neck. His Adam's apple slides up and down as he swallows over and over. Suddenly, the monster looks up for his meal and begins sniffing the air. From this angle, you can see his eyes, solid white orbs aglow, and he has wings, wings shaped like a bat, only instead of leathery black, they are coated with pale human skin. Holy moly, look at that ugly beast. Salem, no! Why is everybody dying? I'm doing horrible. Everybody's dying around me. The thing crawled off of Solon's body while continuing to sniff and then looked straight at you. Its white eyes void of expression. Blood drips down from its chin. Several options rush into your mind. There are several immediate attacks you can do, or you could retreat, perhaps to a more defensible position. What do you do? Alright, so let's take a look at this picture here. To me, it looks kind of like a bat. So bats, as you guys know, they can't see. They're sonar animals. And if this is the case, I think if I don't make any noise, it won't see me. But let's take a look at what our options are, though. So we can attack with a dagger. Not negative. We can firebolt it. That makes a lot of noise, and it may burn down the house. Lightning bolt. That it's kind of the same thing. You know, you can still burn the house that way. It may have a lot more life than what we do. And we can retreat from the room. Now, retreating in the past has actually not been very beneficial to us. So I do think that we need to attack it. And since we do have all this mana, I'm going to try to just strike it right away. Try to kill it with a lightning bolt. Let's go. Let's try that. Oh, gosh. As you prepare to cast a spell, the monster launches into the air at you. Objects fly everywhere from the wind, generated by his mighty wings. You throw yourself at the side just as he hurls past. However, he rakes his long, hard nails across your back. You feel warm blood pooling under your now torn cloak. On the ground, you roll and cast your spell just as the thing launches itself at you again. Boom! The thunder is deafening as a blue bolt shoots from your finger, connects with the monster, and knocks him backwards. You leap to your feet, run over to the thing, and start stabbing away with your dagger. He trembles under you for a few seconds and then is still. You commence sawing at its neck. You're not taking any chances. You're cutting this thing's head off. Is that the Wool Guild Master Parlem of Darlo? Startled, you spin around. It is Narissa, returned from the wall, smudged with dirt and blood and wearing a puzzled expression. You recognize this thing, you ask, incredulous. As a servant of Alathia, I have a keen sense for corruption. I recognize what is below the surface. If you say so, you mutter, and certainly he looks only to be a monster to me. Best you tell me what you know, says Narissa. Briefly, you explain what happened. Vampire, an unholy union of demon and mortal, she says. Looking down at the body, he is the guild master Parlin. I knew him well, for he was a generous benefactor of the temple of Alathia. To think that he has one of Nerull's children and then turn into an abomination. An immortal abomination. Perhaps that is what the members of the Temple of Eternal Love want. Eternity? You ask? I shuddered to imagine actually wanting to become such a monster. Evil and rather sad. And love? At best, a faint memory for such as these. Narissa pauses, and then her voice becomes urgent. Take me to Solon. You lead her to where Solon's body had been, but it's gone. There's a sound on the other side of the bed, and you investigate. Solon is convulsing in the floor, her mouth agape as though in great pain. A demon seeks to merge with her soul. Quick, move aside, Narissa commands. You get out of the way, and Narissa steps up to the woman with her mace and brings it down hard in Solon's head several times. An unpleasant necessity, Narissa says when she notices you staring at her in horror. In another minute, she would have risen as a vampire herself. Narissa kneels down and blesses the body. She then stands up and says, We must depart this house, for it is a safe haven no longer. Before leaving, Narissa assures you that the child of Nerull's body is quite harmless now, and so the two of you drag it out of the shrine. Is there nothing we could have done for Solon? You ask as you hurry down the cobblestone street. No, she had already perished, and her soul was trying to depart. A demon was grappling with her, attempting to merge with her soul to become one. An abomination, a vampire. Her soul was strong to have held off such a beast for so long. A demon grappled with her soul, you say? Was it Nerull? You ask. Perhaps. He is near. However, there are many demons in the abyss eager to create a vampire. Solon's was a good woman, yes? A disciple of your goddess even. What sort of vampire would she have made? To merge with the spirit of a demon is to become evil, says Narissa. Certainly, something of one's soul remains. It is said that as you merge with the demon, if your soul holds on to something important, something you hold dear, the demon cannot corrupt that part of you, even once transformed. And Solon? Could she have held on to something of her own spirit, you ask? If you're asking whether I should have allowed Solon to become a vampire in the hope of her soul persisting, then I can say with certainty, no. It is always best to destroy a vampire than to cling to such a desperate hope. Far better to allow her to move on into the arms of Alathea. You say nothing to this. Would my soul have the strength to survive such an unholy union? You wonder. Now I'm afraid there are other matters to discuss, Narissa whispers. I have seen on the front line that the goblins have been driven back at great cost. Nevertheless, evil continues to seep into the city, people acting as they should not, possessions and other evils crawling in through the sewer, shadows of winged monsters in the air. Bad tidings indeed, you mutter. It is said that the winged beasts fly toward the middle ring, the Nadstra district. The Temple of Eternal Love, you ask? I believe it's so, she answers. Then we will go back to the demon's nest, you say. All right, guys. So I decided to do the about 13 to 15 minutes. We're at the 13-minute mark. This was a lot to read for me, and again, I'm still kind of sick, so I still cough very often, so I apologize. But this was an interesting episode, though. I mean, we did lose one life. That's not a big deal, though. But now we're going back into the belly of the beast. We're going back to the Temple of Eternal Love, which is super insane. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I did. If you did and you're new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe so you can stay tuned for the next episode. But guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you.